Hey guys, Lewis here, and in today's video, I want to do a comparison of two of the most popular options for, looking for tutors, looking for teachers to learn a language. And these two options are italki and Preply. And as someone who's been using these platforms for multiple years, and I'm passionate about language learning, I learn multiple languages myself, including English. This is my second language. I'm a French speaker. I learned Japanese. I've used these platforms extensively, and I want to give you my honest and comprehensive comparison here to help you choose the right platform for your needs. So I've tested both platforms, taken actual lessons for multiple years now, and I'm going to break down sort of, all of the experience from, pricing to teacher quality and all of this kind of stuff. So let's get started. So first, I want to talk a little bit about what we're comparing here. So italki is a service that launched in 2007, and it has grown into a massive sort of community-driven platform with over 30,000 teachers across 150 plus languages. Yeah, that's right, 150 plus languages, including languages that are kind of rare like Basque and constructed languages apparently as well like Klingon. Now, the second website, Preply, was founded in 2012, so it's a little bit more recent. It's more of a, I would say, technology-focused approach with around 100,000 tutors teaching 50 plus languages. My understanding is that they recently raised a lot of money, a lot of funding to develop AI-powered features on the platform. So both platforms are pretty similar in sort of the main value proposition in that they help you to connect with native speakers and certified teachers, but the philosophies of the two platforms are quite different. italki actually emphasizes community and cultural exchange. Preply seems to focus more on, structured algorithm driven learning experiences. All right, I'm going to start with money because this is probably your main concern. I know it's mine. So here's where these two platforms really are different. For italki first, italki, it's a paper lesson model, so there's no forced subscriptions. You can also get package-based learning for, teachers. That's also available. Prices typically range from $10 to $25 an hour, typically, but it can be lower, it can be higher, and lessons are typically 60 minutes. There are other options as well, but I would say this is the most standard option. This is the one I go for. The credits that you buy on italki, they don't expire. They never expire as long as your account is active. And there's a 15% to 25% commission to teachers, meaning that teachers actually pay italki 15 to 21% of their earnings. Depends on the type of teacher, I think. Now, for Preply, now it's a little bit different because they require a minimum of a 4 lesson sort of lesson package, so you can't get individual lessons. Overall, the price range is somewhat similar, although it's probably a bit more expensive on average for a reason that I'm going to explain a little bit later. So the lessons, also keep in mind that the lessons are not going to be 1 hour lessons. They're going to be 50 minutes. So that's 10 minutes less than, a comparable sort of lesson on italki typically. And also you get a sort of monthly credit expiration. So meaning that you get, credits for this month and you use them or you lose them. As far as commissions for the tutors, so it really sort of depends, but overall it's a 33% commission for tutors. And that sort of decreases with experience. So the commission, so when you're paying $10 to a teacher, 33% of this, or maybe a little bit less, depending on experience, is going to go to Preply. So that's higher than italki. Overall, I think in terms of pricing, if you value flexibility and you want to avoid subscription commitments, I think italki is clearly a better fit. And also, if you still want to have more, structured learning through lesson packages with the same teacher, italki also has options for this. So Preply focuses more on subscription plans, which may appeal to you if you prefer sort of a more, rigid learning schedule. I have tested Preply over the years, off camera, and I'll give you my honest comparison of both platforms, but I'm just going to show you some footage of one of my italki lessons so you get a feel of, what happens essentially. So the lesson I'm about to show you is a lesson, a Japanese lesson that I got with Sakina from Japan, who is a professional teacher on italki. So I'll just show you a short segment so you see what it looks like.
でもロイスさんのYouTube もちょっと見ましたけど、メインはこの言語の勉強についてですか？
外国語習得の研究をしている、先生とか、専門家にインタビューしてますね。例えば、単語の覚え方とか、リスニング力を、リスニング力を伸ばす方法とか、科学的な研究に基づいた話を聞いて、それをわかりやすく紹介してるんですね。So as you can see, the booking process is pretty straightforward as well, and you can immediately see the teacher's qualifications, student reviews, and available time slots. So it's pretty convenient. So in terms of teacher quality, both italki and Preply, they handle this kind of differently. So italki has two categories of teachers. Number one is professional teachers. And so these teachers, they need to have an accredited language teaching certificate from an accredited institution and also some teaching experience. As far as the second category, it's community tutors. And so community tutors, they're less expensive, but they don't have necessarily a language teaching certificate. They just need native or C2 level fluency. But even though they don't need a certification, they undergo individual review. Now, for Preply, it's a little bit different. They're a little bit more flexible in terms of, teacher verification. Regular tutors have the same requirements as community tutors on italki. It's sort of similar, but professional teachers are different from they call them professional tutors, I think, on Preply, and it's different from professional teachers on italki in that they can have a language teaching certificate, or they can also do on Preply, they have a free certification course to earn the professional tutor badge. And there's no way apparently to know, where they got their certification from. They're going to have the professional tutor badge anyway. So I don't really know what the certification course is worth, but it's worth knowing. So the interesting thing here is that italki's more, teacher-friendly policies. So specifically, I'm talking about lower commissions and also paid trial lessons, because on Preply, when you get a trial lesson, the teachers do not get paid for this, whereas on italki they do. These incentives on italki, I would say, tend to attract more motivated instructors. At least that has been my experience. And Preply's higher commissions and unpaid trials can be challenging for teachers, which might affect your learning experience. As a matter of fact, I've had a pretty bad experience myself once doing a trial lesson on Preply. And, I booked this trial lesson, and, the teacher was a professional teacher. The guy was just completely bitter about the whole thing. He was like, yeah, I don't get paid for the trial lessons and so on. And I was like, well, I mean, this is too bad, but what does that have to do with me? I'm just, I'm paying for the lesson. So what do we do here, right? And so it's no one's fault, but the point is, with italki's policies, I think it's a lot more, fair, and it provides a better experience for you as the learner, probably. So I just want to show you another part of my italki lesson with Sakina. So I took a conversation practice lesson. Notice how natural the conversation flows, and Sakina actually used the platform's built-in tools to share material and correct my vocabulary in real time. 外国人相手でも大阪弁で喋る人と話したことあると思いますね、何回も。
ああ、そうなんです。外国人と話すときも関西弁を使いますか？
大阪弁で話されるとわからないところが、ありますね。
普通は多分みんな標準語がわかるので、 例えば地元の人とか家族とか友達以外だったら、頑張って東京の言い方で話しますね。
こういう人って標準語喋れないのかな？まあ、それとも、喋りたくないだけ？
うん、話せるとは思いますけど、まあ、話したくないかもしれませんね。
And by the way, if you want to try out italki yourself, be sure to watch until the end because I have a special promo just for my subscribers. And something that a lot of people I think are going to like is italki Plus, which is a service on top of italki, which essentially generates automatically, the key takeaways from your lessons and also flashcards based on the vocabulary in the lessons. Looking at real user feedback, it seems that italki scores higher. So if you take a look at Trustpilot, italki scores 4.3 stars from 13,927 plus Trustpilot reviews, whereas Preply got 4.1 stars from 16,962 plus reviews. I would say that the main complaints about italki are technical issues and occasional teacher no-shows. Depends on the teacher again. For Preply, users frequently complain about the subscription model, as I said, the credit expiration, and customer service issues. I think overall, many Preply users feel trapped by the use it or lose it monthly credits, which creates unnecessary pressure that can sort of negatively impact your learning experience. All right, so what's my final recommendation here? After testing both platforms over the years, here's my honest take. So choose italki if you want budget flexibility with no subscription pressure, right? So you still have the option to get, lessons as packages with the same teacher if you want that. And also, by the way, it's not really the same. It's not a subscription. You just buy a package and you book the lessons whenever you want. There's no timeline for the lessons. Choose italki if you value community features and cultural exchange. Also, if you're learning a less common language and you're more likely to find it on italki, you're probably going to find more teachers on italki for this language. Also, if you prefer exploring multiple teachers with affordable trial lessons, then definitely italki because the trial lessons on Preply, the teachers are not too let's say enthusiastic about that. Also, choose italki if you like credits that last much longer. So, if you're as long as your account is active, the credits are still going to be on your account, whereas for Preply, this is not the case. They're going to expire, much faster. It's a subscription model. All right, now choose Preply if you need highly structured learning with AI matching, right? So they're investing in technology and AI. This is something that you may want to explore. Also, if you're focusing on business English or professional development, then I would say Preply has, more content and features for this. And also choose Preply if you don't mind paying for subscriptions. Maybe you want something a little bit more structured, and you pay each month for the lessons. So for most people, I would say I would lean toward italki. The teacher-friendly policies just create better incentives for the teachers, and it just results in more motivated instructors and a more competitive pricing also because the commissions are lower on italki. The community features also add genuine value beyond just lessons. You can find interesting posts, interesting advice in the community. So if you want to try italki for yourself, then you can click through the link below in the description to start your language learning journey. New users on italki can buy $10 worth of credits and get $5 for free on the first lesson using my exclusive promo code Talagrand, which I'm going to display on the screen right now. So this discount is only going to be available for the first 50 users, so don't wait to use it. I'm really curious, what's your experience on these platforms? So drop a comment below and let me know which features matter most to you. I'm really curious. Also, don't forget to like this video if it helped you make a decision and, subscribe for more language learning videos. Thank you and see you next time.